Hello, my name is Larry Skinner. I am the Chief Operation Officer for FlexKom America Incorporated here in Henderson, Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. We do have an open office policy, so come on by. If you're going to have more than, say, 3 people in your party, please send an email to American Support at FlexKom.com. It's American Support at FlexKom.com, and tell us the size of your party and about the time that you think you'll be dropping by. We also need to say, before we go any further, that on September 1st, we will not be having a conference call because that's a Labor Day holiday, and the office is closed at that time. We are recording this conference call, and the format for conference call for this week and even next week is still where we are talking about the things that we're putting up on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Power to Change, P-O-W-E-R, the number 2, and then C-H-A-N-G-E, Power to Change. So you go to youtube.com, Y-U-T-U-B-E.com, and then you type in Power to Change in the search window there, and you'll see a couple of different Power to Changes. The one that has the POS 4S terminal, that's us. So you definitely want to click on that link, and then you'll see, if it's your first visit, you'll see a video that will auto-play. That is the video that you should be pushing out to all your prospects, be they merchants or be they partners, candidates or prospects or customer prospects, all 3 categories, customer, partner, or merchant. That video cuts to the chase and explains what the opportunity is in just about 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So that's a video you definitely absolutely want to use as your arsenal, part of your arsenal to convince people to sign up with us. So the format is we're going to be talking, not doing a Q&A, but we're doing basically a tutorial, series of tutorials that we're recording as part of the training. So if you go to Power to Change, you'll see that there are a couple of videos there, video playlists. So once again, if you've never been there before, it'll autoplay that first video. It's about 3 minutes, 10 seconds long, and that one is about the total overview there. And then you'll see above that blue earth, you'll see where it says Home, Videos, and then Playlists. If you click on Playlists, then it'll play out all the videos in a certain order. And the playlist that you want to start with is the one that says Certification. That one will teach you everything you need to know about how to go and talk to merchants, sign a merchant up, create their account after you get their paperwork done, and then go in and activate the terminal and the cards in their back office. So it's everything soup to nuts on signing up a merchant. This week we're focusing on how to things that related to signing up a partner. So if you are a DMR, and I imagine most of the people on this call are either DMR or are thinking about becoming DMRs, this week we are deploying a series of videos that are related to signing up DMRs. And so I am posting up right now on our Power to Change the video that talks about how to KISS, and that's what we're going to cover today. But first, we're going to go and open up the lines, not to do Q&A. We're not doing Q&A. We're only going to open up the lines to people that are having meetings and they want to promote their meetings. So we do that at the beginning of each conference call, and then we go back to talking about the subject of the day for the tutorial. So in just a second here, we're going to go back and open up the lines, but only to people who have events that are coming up and they want to promote them. And then we'll go into the subject of the day, which is how to KISS a customer, because that's part of being a partner is basically signing up customers, because when you go to that first merchant, you're going to want to have some customers already signed up so that you have something that the merchant wants. You're going to walk in there with something that they want. All right, so let's get this one up there. There it goes. It's up there. And so now at the Power to Change, you will see the How to KISS video, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, we are going to go and open up the line. So give me a second here. There it is. And then I'm going to open up the line, but only to people that have an event coming up in the near future, say this week or next week. That's all we want to have come on here. If you have any questions that you need answered, send an email to American Support FlexKom.com. That's American support at FlexKom.com. So hold on for one moment. Okay, so if anyone out there has an event they want to talk about, go ahead and hit star and then 6.
Hello, Larry. Good evening. This is Pat Harry from Atlanta.
Hi, Pat. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. Great, thanks. I just wanted to remind everyone that we have our meeting, our weekly biz-op and training tomorrow night, Thursday night at 7 p.m. in Stockbridge, Georgia. And if anyone would like to attend, just require that they give us a call at 404-281-8663. But all are invited. Just need to know who's coming to give them the directions, okay? So we're looking forward to it. We're building a big team, and we're getting merchants in, and that's what we're going to be focusing on tomorrow night.
Perfect. Give me that phone number again, please. Give me the number one more time.
404-281-8663.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Pat, and say hi to Gordon for me.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Larry.
You're welcome. So that was Pat Letta. They have an event there in Stockbridge, Georgia. Phone number is 404-281-8663. That's at 7 p.m. on Thursdays. Once again, you want to get yourself to these meetings if you're anywhere near them. If you know anybody that lives near there, get them to these meetings. You want to basically use these synergies, these meetings to build your team. If anybody else has a meeting that they want to talk about before we get started, then go ahead and hit star 6 and tell us about your meeting.
I do, Larry.
Hey, how you doing, Larry?
Fine, great. We're having our weekly meeting at Caffeine Addicts from this tomorrow night, this Thursday, from 7 to 9. And we're always usually lucky enough to have Bill resides, and we have people usually traveling 50 to 100 miles just because we have the country manager with us. So it's not to hear me, trust me, it's to hear Bill, but we're just lucky to have Bill with us. Anybody can call me at 423-593-3657. 423-593-3657, or email me at bforsix@gmail.com. Just watching your How to Kiss video. I can't wait till we get into this.
Okay, we will. And if you could hold tight and be available to do the preamble before I throw into the How to Kiss video, that'd be wonderful. I'd be very happy for that.
That's great. I gave 3 away today. It's too easy.
Yeah, I need you to tell me. Hold on to that. I'll have you tell me that in just a moment after we go through the meeting calendar here. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead and mute yourself out a little bit there, and then if anybody else is having a meeting in the near future here, this week or next week, go ahead and hit star and then 6.
Hey, Larry, Frank Leonard, Northern Virginia. How are you?
Hey, Frank. You're doing great, Frank. And you?
Good. I'm doing awesome. Hey, just want to let everyone know, starting next week, we do not have, we've got 2 locations. We're trying to make a decision based on, just locations and trying to figure that out. But I just wanted to preempt this with letting people know, anyone that's in the Northern Virginia area or has people in this area, and we're talking about, around the Beltway into Maryland, they can contact me. It'd be great to get some feedback. That way, if we've got some feedback, people coming from one side of the Beltway or the other, we can make a decision on the location. So I'd like to at least give my phone number. They can text me. The number's 571-437-6201. That's 571-437-6201. And if they just text me, I'll get back with them, and we'll be making a quick decision here in the next day or so.
Okay.
All right.
Is there an email address you want to give out or no?
Yeah, I can do it. It's F as in Frank, X as in X-ray, LEONARD @gmail.com. FXLeonard@gmail.com.
Okay, great. So give a call if you're in that area or you know somebody in that area that can attend. Give them that contact information. That's 571-437-6201. Text the information there for anybody in that area. And the other thing you can do is email to FXLEONARD@gmail.com to try and build a meeting. We want meetings in every major area of the United States. That's how you build. That's how you grow. That's how you sustain. That's how you engage people in your downline, people in your upline, and all those people on the sideline. We need to get them into the game. So great, Frank. Definitely a wonderful thing there, and we'll do our best to try and get that building, okay?
Great. Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Frank. All right, if anybody else has a meeting or wants to try and put a meeting together, go ahead and hit star and then 6. Okay, so what we'll do, this conference call is recorded and put up on our YouTube channel, Power to Change, and most of our viewership of this conference call and the materials of it are actually on our YouTube channel now. It's something like 100 to 1. So we have about 20 people watching on the conference call right now, and we'll have within the next week or so, we'll probably have about 200 to 300 hits related to this audio recording that's going to be on our YouTube channel. So right now, what I'm going to do is if we can bring Larry Holcomb back on. Larry, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, Larry.
All right, Larry, and so go ahead and tell us about how easy it is to kiss.
Well, today, of course, I'm trying to get my chiropractor on, but having a little trouble with him. He's just hadn't decided yet. But anyway, as I said, in his waiting room, there's 4 or 5 people there, and he comes in and gets one at a time for an adjustment. But the lady's sitting there, and I didn't say anything for a while. And she's working on her phone. I said, you playing a game? And she kind of looked at me dumbly. And then a second, I said, would you like to have a free app? And, because I didn't get a response for it. She said, oh, okay, sure. And like I said, they never asked what for. Just, okay. And I said, I'm going to give you the only app in the world that pays. She says, do what? So I proceeded to show her how, and I give her my QR code and download the app. And a lot of times when I have time, I give them the big app, Larry. I know the smaller one is easier and especially used for merchants, but I'm finding the big one is pretty easy to give away if you have just a couple minutes. So anyway, I gave her the big app, and she downloaded that. And before we went in, or she went in, she was ahead of me. And the last time I was in the chiropractor's office, that happened. The lady across the room said, oh, I want it too. So I gave 2 away. And later on today, I went to get my truck washed. Of course, if you live in the South, you have to have a truck.
You do.
But, I've got a 72 Ford. I love driving the old truck. But I go to get my truck washed and have to have it hand washed because it's old. But I was trying to get in to see the guy that owns the car wash. That's my theory for having the truck washed. It's cost me a lot of $30 so far. But he's beginning to get interested. So I'm in the waiting room and have a beautiful car wash. It's super nice. Big waiting room with TVs and computers, and I sit there a while charging my phone, and a young girl over there with kids playing, and I know she's just playing on her pocketbook, playing on her phone. In a few minutes, I said something about her phone on the phone. She said, yeah, I'm on this all the time. I said, well, can I give you an app? She said, okay, sure. So we started a conversation, became friends. She ended up being a customer online buying soil and mulch. But anyway, gave her the app, and we discussed that. First off, when I give an app away, I ask them, do you have a small business or know anybody? Because I don't give it to anybody that has a small business. I'd rather sign them up as a merchant. And if they do, I don't want them to have my app. I want them to have the one for their merchant. So that's a disclaimer. I always ask anybody, do you have a business or where do you work? I mean, I just ask them up front. And I've met a lot of small business owners that way. Just out, you don't know what they're doing because you're not at their business. But I'll stop and get their name and number and explain something to them. And then it's an easy sell when you go to see them. It's so much easier when you get them out of their context at the chiropractors or sitting in a waiting room or something like that. You can explain it to them easier because you've got their undivided attention. So I've made a couple of merchant sales in places like that where they weren't behind the counter or where they've been pressed by employees. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And that's a very good point. We should probably focus on that. So what Larry's talking about is when somebody's kissed, they're kissed forever. Now, a lot of people will say, well, why is that? Is that a good thing? That's actually a wonderful thing from the merchant's point of view. Because then if somebody kisses the merchant, the person signs up as a merchant with FlexKom, they get their terminal, and a customer of theirs kisses that terminal, they can be very confident that that customer can't go across the street and be convinced to change their allegiance from the original merchant to somebody else who offers them a deal to come over to them. So once kissed, you're always kissed. So if you're talking to a prospect, and just like Larry says, it is a good idea to ask them, well, I don't want to kiss you. You know, get them to say yes to kissing, and then say, well, I don't want to kiss you if you own a business. You're not a business owner, like that. That's a very good technique right there, because if they are a business owner, they'll go, oh, well, why is that? When somebody asks you a question, you should hear a little cash register going off in the back of your head, because that's how you close them. And so if they own a business, then you want to say, okay, well, basically, I don't want to kiss you right now, because if I kiss you now, you'll be my customer, you'll be associated with me forever. And if I want to talk to you about your business first, so let's set some time up to talk about FlexKom and what how FlexKom can help you build your business. So that's a very good point, a great point, and a nice way to bring it up. That way you're getting two things answered. Yeah, the person's active. They want active on their smartphone. They have a smartphone and they're active on it, and they want an app. And now you're finding out whether they own a business or not. That's great, smooth, and I can't see that they're going to throw up any objections right there.
Oh, well, it's kind of a slight disadvantage that I am a DMR, because I have my own app. I wish I didn't. And that I am a business owner, I'd like to have my app from my business. But since I do have my app as a DMR, you can't change. So a lot of times I took a picture of my app, my QR code on my terminal with a little, I took a little sticky note, stuck it below it, said Winwood, so I know it's mine. Took a picture, and I give it away as a picture. I have pictures of all of my merchants. If I have a merchant that's not doing well, I'll actually give an app away for them, because if I give their app away, they get 12 cents, I get my 15. And so I have my merchants. I don't win both ways. So there's no use giving away my app when I can give away merchants. They win, I win. And you're helping them build customer base. I give away for my merchants. I give away for mine. But I have pictures just with a little note below it, because QR codes can be confused very easily. Trust me, I try to match those squares up to make sure they work. But a lot of times I'll just put a little card with the name of the merchant under the QR code, and that way you take a picture, you know who it belongs to.
Larry, another great technique.
I do that quite a bit.
Now, that's a great technique for you brand new people that all this is sounding a little foreign to you. The QR code is what we use to sign people up. In general, if you are a partner, the best practice is, yes, you could pull up your QR code on your phone with just a couple of clicks. Yes, that's absolutely true. But best practice is to print out your QR code and laminate a card and have that at the ready. There's all kind of different scenarios where it's a good idea to have that QR code printed out. Larry brings up a great technique in that you can take a picture of the QR codes for each of your merchants and help them by signing up customers for them, especially if you feel that they're not being active enough. When they check into their back office and they see that they got 2 customers out of nowhere, they're going to be that's going to make them happy. That's going to make them glad that they're in. So that's a great technique, Larry. And what Larry's saying is that on each picture, you want to name the picture associated, simply associated with the particular store that particular QR code works for. And so, yes, you can definitely take a picture of a QR code, save that in your gallery on your phone, and as you are building out and talking to different merchants and signing those merchants up, you go and have each merchant generate a QR code on their terminal, take a picture of it just using the picture function of your camera. That's more than good enough. And then when you're out and about working with customers, you're at the chiropractor or the car wash or wherever you are, you're at the supermarket, and you have somebody who says, yeah, I want to sign up, and you want to throw a little action in the way of somebody that you just signed up to give them some enthusiasm, or somebody that hasn't been that successful at kissing customers, do so. This is a great way to do it, Larry. Another great technique.
But a lot of times, this QR code is just amazing. I have email QR codes for money off of my machine. I've done QR codes to sign up people. But Jan has learned she doesn't dare get one off her terminal anymore. It comes off of Jan's phone or one of her employees. And if somebody like Jan at the Caffeine Addicts, a lot of times I'll have them take a screenshot and then email it to me. Then I have a record on my computer. I can print that out later. I can use it. You can do a screenshot, and then I take a note and put it on there whose it is. If it's email from Jan, of course, I know. But you can email QR codes. You can take pictures and send pictures in your notes with your smartphone. It's amazing these things will scan.
Yeah, and we did a test where it's the QR code scanner saw a code on a card from across the room. So,
oh my goodness.
Like, if the lighting's just right and the angle's just right, we definitely had it work. We were surprised because we were playing with it to see how far back we can get. And so we wanted to start pretty far back, and it got us at the door, and that's about 15, 20 feet.
That is amazing. One thing we've learned is that a lot of times people, when they're trying to scan the QR code to get cash back or to get the app, they try to get too close. You better to back off, 6-8 inches or further. And I don't know what they've done to the app or the QR. It's doing so much faster, Larry. The speed is so much quicker the way it grabs the QR code for registering a new customer or for the money too. It's a lot quicker. And then we have so many now in our area. There's several hundred apps. We're going to begin to be thousands soon. I take time to tell everybody how to share. When I give an app, I say you get your email, you're going to get a 16-digit code and a 4-digit code. If I've got time, I write down Flex Card or Flex App. I say when you have time, use that QR code, that 16-digit number and 4-digit number, and download the big app at home. A lot of people are doing that now. But I take the time to show them how the little bar is at the top. What is that, the menu, I guess, on the top left?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I tell them, here's how you recruit. Here's what I take time to show them the map. It amazes them when you show the map. But I show them how to give it to their friends, and I tell them, you give it to your friends, first level, they get $1, you get 4 cents. And then I show, if I have time, I show them where I gave it to my wife, Gloria, and I had an e-kiss on my phone. We may be ahead of the game there, but they see that, and it says their name. Doesn't tell where they shop, when they shopped, what they bought. It just says their friend's name and 4 cents per dollar with a little heart. People start seeing that in the near future, this thing's going to go pow, pow, pow.
Absolutely. And the heart that we're talking about is when you're doing your transactions when we get to the next part of the back end of 3.5, we're going to phase 3.6. So the next part of this process, the closing of the loop, what you'll see is that the 4 hearts will come back. So what that is where you can choose to give $0 to a charity at the time, 0% of the transaction that's happening right there at the terminal, 10%, 25%, 50%, or 100% of that transaction. You give those funds to a charity. In the charity, we're defining the charities per country and per region. Just know that the charity will be related to children, as our founder and president, Cengiz Elise, says. Basically, children haven't done anything wrong. They haven't hurt anybody, and yet there's children who are being wronged by society and by life. So the goal is to assist children. So yes, this is a profit-making opportunity. Yes, this is helping to save business and generate business for small to medium-sized companies. But this is also something that has this philanthropic side where our goal is to help children who are in need. And that's going to be another part that'll be brought back once we get the loop closed and we're back to full transactions happening inside of our system. So these are great points, great techniques, Larry. And when you're looking at, and for you folks who are new to this call, Larry Holcomb is in a great position in that he can view this as a customer, as a merchant. He owns a store, and also as a partner, as a DMR independent rep. When you're looking at this from just the customer point of view, what would you say if you're talking to somebody just as a customer? If you just only had like maybe a minute elevator speech to somebody, why would they be a customer?
Oh, because they can get cash back at local merchants, and all you got to do is mention a few, and you know what area you're in. I can tell you which shops they normally shop, especially the restaurants. I'll say Tres Amigos or Farm to Fork or Park Place, and most everybody within 10 miles knows about those. I said those and many others, and we're signing up more every day. That's all you got to say. You mean I get it's like a Panera Bread card, except it's usable at any small merchants. I said, in the near future, we're going to have chiropractors and doctors. They said, chiropractors and doctors on a loyalty rewards? I said, yes, it'll be any small business, from the tire changer to the lawyer.
Yep.
And it's an easy, in 30 seconds you can do it. I can give the app away in less than a minute. I've done it so many times. It's real quick. With an Android, you don't have to have your password. With an iPhone, that's what people need to give apps away so they know these little glitches so you can tell them to your merchant. I can tell a merchant everything. Now, there's an early little square iPhone that will not download the app, even though it's an iPhone. It's a primitive thing, I think. That I've got a couple of waitresses that work for the restaurants that they won't work, so I had to give them a card. But I can tell you every phone, how it works, how it won't work. So you need to know that to tell your merchants to be way ahead of the game when the time comes. There's a big advantage to giving apps away as a DMR.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why there's 100 cards that come in that terminal box. So when you're looking at how this works going forward, somebody signs up as a partner for $399 plus tax. The tax is based off their local sales tax. Basically what happens is we have a service that we have engaged with that works with the attorney generals for every state, and they figure out based off the zip code what your sales tax is. And so when you sign up as a partner, it's $399 plus sales tax based off whatever the AG for your state says is the sales tax for that zip code in their state. And then now you're a partner. You're a partner, you're a DMR independent rep, and you can go out and sign up other DMR independent reps in your town or around the country. And you can also immediately go and sign up merchants. We have 2 video tutorials. The one for the merchants is already out there. It's our Power to Change YouTube page, so POWER, the number 2, CHANGE, all one word. You go in there and watch the playlist that says certification. That is your de facto certification until Flex Academy gives us the tools to give you the certification document. Take the test and get the document. But you are armed with this immediately. You pay your $399 plus tax. You immediately have your replicated website up. You immediately have access to your back office, all the tools that are there, and we engage with you. We send you an email. That's our We Care package. That gives you kind of a lay of the land. It tells you about this conference call, tells you about the radio blog with Country Manager Bill Resides, and gets you engaged, tells you about Power to Change, and gives you a link to our YouTube channel. So when somebody signs up, you can know that they're taken care of from the second that they sign up. They have the ability to market immediately, go and sign up partners, go and kiss customers, and go and sign up merchants immediately. The videos are there. Take a couple hours to sit down and watch the videos. If you are signing up somebody, even though you know they're getting that We Care package from us here at corporate, you want to. I feel personally that you should engage with them personally, hold their hand, and walk them through some of the basic things, and get them on this conference call. Hold their hand on this conference call, onto the radio blog Talk with Bill Resides. If you can work that both of these into your schedule, that'd be great. Especially in that first week where, you're rubbing your head and you're patting your stomach. You feel like you're learning things you have to learn things very quickly. We have enough tools in place that you can learn at your own rate, but very quickly. You can learn as fast as you want or as slow as you want, but everything's there for you. And then you have these other tools like this conference call and the radio blog talk to help you out. And our co-CEO, Volker Weinig, does these webinars from time to time. And so we have all these different touch points from corporate and from field leadership. We also have country managers and regional coordinators that you can hook up with just by sending an email to American support at FlexKom.com. So you have a lot of support, not just your upline. You should definitely stay in contact with them. And if you bring anybody in, you should definitely, absolutely stay in contact with them, hold their hand through the whole process. But even without that, even if you sign up somebody and they're all the way across the country in Nome, Alaska, you can know that they're supported by corporate and by the field and by yourself electronically. Looking at this video, you probably had enough time to kind of have that play in the background. It's just 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Shows you how to kiss an iPhone. It is incredibly similar on an Android. You do bring up a great point about the operating system for each phone. So let's talk about that real quick. In general, we have 2 phones that we work on. One is the iPhone, and the other is the Android. You're going to have about 1 in every 100 people will have a Windows phone. If you actually go to Microsoft's website, they say that between Android and the iPhone, that's 98% of the market. Now, this is Microsoft, who makes the Windows phone. It's saying that it's 98%. Apple says that Android and Apple are 95%. So somewhere between, let's just call it 97, 96%. Let's call it 97%. 97% of the market has either an Android phone or an iPhone. Of those Android phones and iPhones, some 80 to 90% of those are modern enough that they can just download the app and work. Some of them, like the ones that you're talking about there, Larry, are too old to get the latest or even close to the latest iPhone operating system or Android operating system. Like my personal phone is reaching end of life. I've had it for about 4 years, and it is slow and it is cumbersome. It has very little memory, and it was just barely able to take the last update of the operating system. So it's reached end of life. I can't use it anymore. And that's not just for our app. That's for anything.
Larry?
Yeah.
We found that the new to get the newest version of the app, the Flex app, the big app, you have to have the latest operating system for the iPhones. I know that for sure. Have you found that out?
Well, what it is this. If you have been taking incremental updates, to get different apps to work over the course of the last few years, then you probably don't need to get the whole OS update. So iOS 7 or 8 or whatever's out right now.
Right.
You don't need to take that whole thing, because what will happen is you try and get the Flex-Card app to load, and it'll just load.
Yeah.
If it says you need to get the update, then you need to get the update. Now, with that update, it's not just that you get to run the FlexKard app or the Flex app. You also are getting security updates that make your phone less vulnerable. So if your phone can't take the latest updates, then you want to consider, yes, there's a cost to it, but you want to consider, especially if you're a partner, taking the bite of the Big Apple, literally, to get to the next iOS or the next Android phone. And the reason why is you don't have a secure phone. Your phone, they're not supporting it because it doesn't have the infrastructure, the hardware in it to be able to do modern things. My phone is maybe 4 or 5, more than that. It's probably about 10. Mine is a HTC, so mine is like 10 issues away from. There's been 10 HTC phone releases since my phone was released, at least 10. So my phone is a dinosaur. It really is. I feel it anytime I try and watch a video on YouTube. It says, "Oh, I can't do that." As the phone gets older. Go ahead.
You want me to send you one of my Flex cards from Winwood?
No, I activated the card today because I basically just want to make sure it worked, but also because my phone it was updating. It was taking the latest update for the Flex app, and it was just taking forever. It's too slow. It's too slow. Just had
I've said this before, but when the new operating system came out for the iPhone, I put it off because it usually has bugs in it, just like the Windows 8 and all that. But I'll say this about FlexKom. I've taken every update immediately because I want to know what that. But it's never affected my phone. It's never not done exactly what it's supposed to. So I give kudos to the engineers, you and the guys that work on the updates, because I know they say the new one will solve problems, but if there's a problem to it, I've never seen it. So they do a good job when they do updates.
Thank you very much, and I'll let them know in the next time I meet with them. It'll probably be in a couple of hours here. When you're looking at the biggest issue that I know of right now with the apps has to do with these older phones like mine. My phone barely has such little memory. It's insane. So when you're looking at if I try and pull up Paris, France on my map app,
yeah,
Flex app map. It can't do it. I have to go outside of Paris and kind of scroll over to Paris in order to see it because there's too much data there. Same is true of cities in America, like Mobile.
But if you try to show Europe, it actually takes a minute. But when it's fun, if you wait and wait, it'll start populating, and it just continues to populate. And it's kind of impressive to show that to a merchant because it just populates and populates. So all of a sudden, all of Europe from France to Germany and Czechoslovakia it's just solid icon.
Yes, it is.
I almost wish to go back to the 3.5.12 because I have actually 3 of my merchants now are sitting on top of each other because they're door. Does that make sense?
It does, and they're working on that. So there should be a couple more pushes on the updates to iPhone and Android, and those pushes will go back to the
I like that
3, 5, 12, and whatever. Because, like, for example, Paris is just solid orange, and I was there, and it's solid orange.
Well, when you look at Mobile, it's like 25, and until you scroll in, it's just one spot, you know. So I can't wait for the numbers to come out because I know we're slowly getting 1 or 2 or 3 added a day now. It's going to be great.
It is, and you know, we shipped over 2,200 terminals throughout the United States. So you're going to start. Hopefully, everybody's getting busy. Everybody's talking to merchants. You know, they got those videos in there, and I know I've gotten some emails saying it's kind of rude for me to say you have no excuses, but you have no excuses now. That video series takes you through everything. Frank Leonard was on this call earlier this week, I believe, talking about how those videos took him one step to the next step to the next step, signing up the merchant, completing the paperwork, and then activating the terminal and the cards in the in the merchant back office. Straightforward, on, easy.
It is. I've told you, I've written a thing to tell you every button to push, but oh gosh, if they'll just go look at those videos once or twice, I mean, it's so simple. And I like it now that you've got them in a playlist tied together. Is there a playlist for the DMRs? I noticed a couple of videos out for the DMR
that one
backup.
I'm still putting together. Let me take a look at that. I was just playing that. So the KISS one should be on that list now. Let me go back.
Oh, yeah, I've been watching. If you don't mind me saying, today I sent out to about 40 people my pitch to how to get a merchant to like FlexKom. If anybody wants to, send me an email. It's my word for word verbatim how I sell FlexKom to a merchant, and it can also be used to introduce it to a new DMR if anybody would like to get that.
If you could send one if you haven't already done it, send one to American Support.
I did about 30 minutes ago, yeah. But can I give my email out again? Do you mind?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, it's B as in boy, F as in Frank, O as in Oscar, R as in Romeo.
Radioactive, I say.
Yeah, SIX, BFOR-SIX at gmail.com, B46 at gmail.com. But I'll be glad to share that with anybody. The first part you just memorize, and then I have a sheet I lay in front of my merchant. I read one, and I'm learned to quit vomiting. I'll say about 2 sentences or phrases, and I just shut up for the first one to speak loses. And it's made it so much easier, even for me, because trust me, I'm not going so many doors. I learned the hard way, but it's getting easier and easier now to sell FlexKom.
Absolutely, and you know, it's not just the tools; it's also people like yourself who are out there supporting people that are not in their downline, and you're supporting people because it's supporting yourself by having more terminals pop up on that app. What's going to be great is when you're trying to close somebody as a partner, as a DMR, or you're trying to close somebody as a merchant, and they'll say, "Well, I bet you don't have anything in Lompoc, California." You go, how do you spell that? You type it in, and then there's like 10 of them. It's like, okay, now, what's your argument for not signing up now?
Well, we've had shakeouts and shakeups, but the people I'm talking to now are hardcore FlexKom, the group that's contacted with me, and we're beginning to see. We see some KTMs are disillusioned, some are excited, but we're beginning to see now KTM terminals being shared. Not shared, but the correct, proper way, where a KTM will give it to. I've had people think that you couldn't put a KTM terminal in and let that DMR invite them to the den and invite them. No, KTM terminals can be put in by any DMR. So I'm seeing KTMs being shipped across the country and placed, and we're all sharing, and this is kind of cool. It's beginning to come together, Larry, and we're working together out here. So that I like the camaraderie, okay?
Well, and also the camaraderie and the momentum. So what you're going to, this is my feeling of what you're going to see, is that once we get, say, about maybe 250 terminals placed, it'd be nice if they were all in clusters, like we talked about, clusters of 5 or more, or in cities around the United States. That will just start the floodgates. Like you're saying about signing up you're a brand new DMR independent rep, and you're signing up your first merchant. That you don't have any terminals, you're not a KTM, you don't have that access. Maybe you're going to be selling this merchant on spending $950 plus taxes. Let's just call it $1,000 and shipping. So let's just call it $1,000 to put this terminal in their store, and they're going to need to believe that $1,000 is a great investment. Once again, when you're talking to a merchant, you want to have them tell you their horror stories. This is when you listen about their attempts at marketing. And when they see that they're not paying $1,000 a week to buy printing that they put on. We watched the person go through the parking lot today here at work, and they started out putting flyers on every car. They were very diligent. But I said, let's see how long they do that. They got to where they got to maybe like 15 cars, and then they saw a trash can.
Oh no, they did.
I am not kidding you. We watched them look at their hands, look at the cars that they went through. It's about 95 degrees today, so it wasn't all that hot, but it's still hot enough. They're out there in the sunshine. They threw all those flyers in the trash can.
No, well, today I talked to a girl. They told me for like a high-end hiking, biking material place in Ringo, and she had we were talking about advertising. She had a magazine over there. She said they committed to $400 per month for a year for this magazine. Been in it 6 months, and she said, I don't believe we've had a call that I could actually say that's for what, $4,800 that they've been in. I said, I'm only asking for $100. I'm going to give you a terminal. But I'm finding out now with this new pitch I've got, not pitch, that's the wrong way to put it, the way I present FlexKom, I ask questions. When I get through with this, I've already told them there's no monthly, no yearly. But when I tell them all the benefits, I ask them now, how much do you think that's worth? I've had people say $5,000, $6,000, $8,000. And then so I can't wait till we get selling for $950 so I can get my 100 quarterback. But it's going to be so easy to sell a $950 terminal when you explain it correctly. They think what you're getting ready to ask for is $6,000 to $8,000. Mm-hmm. And all you ask for is $950, and them take money out of their ACH or credit card and do that, which could be anywhere from $100 to $1,000 and $5,000 if it's a big restaurant. But they're already thinking $6,000 to $8,000 if you do the demonstration correctly. So, it's going to be so easy to sell 950 terminals. And the way we're doing it now, and we're selling ours for $1. And I say, even though I've got 10 left, I say I've got a couple terminals left that I can give away for $2, for $1. Then after that, they're going $950. And you put that urgency on them. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've had them sign up right there because they want to get that $950 terminal.
Absolutely.
We're getting off kissing apps. I'm sorry, Larry.
No. This is all part of the same thing. And one of the things, the reason why we're doing this format is because the two most asked questions are effectively, I'm paraphrasing them. How do I sign up a merchant? What are the steps? The second is, how do I sign up a partner? I'm new or I haven't been engaged. What do I say? And so last week we covered pretty much soup to nuts everything about signing up a merchant. And this week we're putting together the playlist that is DMR Independent Representative Training. So we're on video 6. That's how to kiss. It's so simple. We really don't need to go into it. It's so simple. Just watch the video. It's only 4 minutes and 40 seconds long. And I think I repeat myself 12 times in there. So if I just did it straight up, the kiss will actually. How long does it actually take, Larry, when you kiss somebody?
Oh, less than a minute. You have to repeat yourself to make it last at least 4 minutes because it's too simple to give away an app. I mean, but everybody should have given away already 5, 10, 15 at the minimum. To get this down where it feels good, I've given away 34 from my DMR, but I've given away 105 at Wynwood. I've given away probably another 20 for my different merchants off my phone as a picture. So I've personally given away 250 apps, I guess. It's fairly easy. So you need to know so you can explain it to that merchant. And I love telling a merchant, I can't give apps away. I said, anybody can give an app away. It's just a matter of asking somebody, can I give it? I found 60-year-old people with 60, 70 apps on their phone. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought I was the only old geezer that was into this stuff. But I'm finding people that they'll have just pages and pages. I said, well, when you download this FlexKom app, slide it over to the front. You don't need to be looking for it because you're going to use it on a daily basis and sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And they said, no, you can't. No. Put this right in front center. It's very easy to recognize, too. I like that. But you're going to want this on the front page.
Absolutely. And the other thing about this is that kind of casual selling. So we were talking about, this video, How to Kiss Inside of Power to Change, and the specific playlist is DMR Independent Representative Training. So just go to Power to Change, click on playlist. DMR Independent Representative Training is where it's at. It's at 6 videos now. It's going to probably finish out this week with 8 or 12. The customer kissing part is part of your being a partner. So if you're not kissing, you're crazy. You're crazy if you're not kissing. You should be kissing. Also, I want to bring this up real quick. We had David, who's probably on this call as well, had talked about the different promotions that you might see regarding kissing. So right now there's an e-kiss promotion that's out. It's vetted for Europe. Well, Europe is doing it, but here in America, as you know, we go uber compliant. We go for over compliance. We need to make sure that our lawyers are okay with it and that all 50 states are okay with it before we can say it works, that it works here. You don't want to worry about those promotions. You don't want to wait for those promotions. You don't want to target those promotions. You want to just be kissing like crazy. There's a couple reasons why. One is if you're kissing people frontline to yourself as a partner, you're doing yourself a great favor. The reason why is that you have these customers that you can say, I kissed these people, it was easy, and just like Larry's saying, I found out this about the iPhone, I found out this about the Android. You'll know this. You'll have this experience. You want to give yourself that experience, and then this is an easy sell because you're selling something that's free. You're selling something that's free that's going to pay somebody. So if you don't have a lot of sales acumen, if you don't have a lot of sales history, if you've never sold before, try selling something that's free and pays you. If you can't sell that, then you might not be able to sell anything. But cut your teeth on that before you go up to a merchant. So you're going to go up to people, try and kiss them. You'll come up with your own technique. Use what Larry's saying. Use what you see on Facebook and other techniques. And in fact, we see people on Facebook who've changed their profile picture to their QR code. Try that. Once you have customers, now you have, especially if they're local. If you're walking around to your merchants locally, that's your goal, is to sign up your merchants locally, and you're kissing people locally, then you can say, honestly, to that merchant when you walk in there, I have 10 customers that I've personally kissed. So if you sign up with me, I have these 10 customers that you may not know at all that are local, and I've kissed them, and I will turn them on to you. And I'll show you how easy it is to kiss. I'll come in here after you get your terminal, and we'll go and have a kissing party.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do that for our merchants. We're going to take the hint from Mobile and put us up a tent and balloons, and we're going to sit out in front of merchants and just kiss for that merchant. But now that you got that kissing video, we can put that on on our Facebook page.
Absolutely.
And put our QR code with it.
Every time you put any of these videos on your Facebook page, you're helping the SEO. You're helping raise us up in the search engine. So search engine optimization begins with you. You take these videos and you say, hey, here's a great video on your Facebook. Say, here's a great video. Watch this video. You take the address at the top of the page there for that particular video or for the playlist, and you put it on your page. That helps us. It's like 4 times the clicks. Of you clicking that video once, if you put it up on your Facebook page and even one person clicks it, that's like 4 times the clicks of somebody clicking on the video directly. So please,
this title it, "Get Paid for Kissing." But I'm going to work with all the reps in our area, and we're going to have probably in about a week. We've got strategies we're planning on when we have meetings. But we're going to have a one whole week where we talk to all our merchants and have our merchants put it on there on Facebook. We're all going to put it on our Facebook pages. So for about a week, we're going to blitz it about every day and put kissing on there or an app on there for that merchant. So in our area, it's that you're touching a lot of people. I've got 600-800 friends, maybe 1,000. I don't know. So you do that every day because we tell them to do it in the evening at 6, 7, 8, and 9. Because some people sit down at the computer at 6 and look at Facebook, and they won't see what's there every morning or in the evening. So you do it several days at different hours. But we got 21 merchants we're going to do it, and all the reps are going to do it for about a week. And I think that's going to have an impact. You're going to get people in their brain, what is FlexKom? At least starting asking. And you'll have merchants that will be on there that will be merchants that aren't FlexKom merchants yet. And I think that blitz itself is going to help.
Absolutely. And when you're looking at this, you're kind of building a community. So especially if you're doing like Larry's talking about and like we've heard about with clusters, you're building that community that between these merchants and between these customers. When you also look at your state, your city, your state, and your regional government, you're talking about. We've talked about this week even, where if it's an online store, they are not, in general, not paying any taxes locally at all. They're taking local business away, but they're not paying any taxes. Every one of those mom and pop shops are paying taxes straight up and legal, and they're doing it the whole 9 yards. So for the city, the state, the county even, this is revenue that was going out the door. You're helping build up that community revenue again. You're keeping money local, and you're building this local community with the app, with Facebook, and with signs on the door, and through FlexKom, you're building this cluster of 5 stores to 10 and so forth. You're helping out your own neighborhood. You're saving your own neighborhood. You're bringing in revenue for your city tax-wise, your state tax-wise. This is a win, 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 win. When do I stop saying win? There's so many people that are winning in so many ways that they're winning. This is a no-brainer. For you folks that are just getting in, you're coming in at a time where folks like Larry Holcomb and George Kay and other people that are on this call right now, they've been through a lot of times where we had to work hard and work harder, and some tough times, and weathered all that. Arrows in the back, as they say, and you're coming in at a time, or if you're re-engaging at a time where we are open for business in all 50 states. We are compliant and legal in all 50 states. You can place a terminal right now. If you're going to say, well, how do I do that? There's a playlist that has a video set for you. It's called the Certification Series. That's how you learn how to place a terminal in a merchant, how to sign up the merchant and all that. We're completing the playlist called DMR Independent Representative Training. That's how you sign up other partners. And then next week we'll be talking about, it'll be a shortened week because we have September 1st is Labor Day. So we have 4 days next week. On those series of conference calls will be about the customer, why the customer should sign up, and how to sign up the customer. But part of being a DMR is kissing. You need to kiss. That arms you with customers, and that's exactly what that merchant is looking for. So you really want to do all 3 things at once. Probably the first thing you want to do is so that you understand how to do it if you don't have a lot of sales background, because you get a lot of people where when you kind of read between the lines what they're writing us and what they're saying, so I really don't know how to sell. I signed up, and I don't have a lot of sales background. Can you help me learn how to sell? And yes, we actually have your training wheels. Your training wheels are kissing. You're giving away something for free that actually pays them money. So that's the easiest sell in the history of selling. And then the next thing is signing up another DMR where basically for just $400 plus the tax based off your zip code, you are in this opportunity where you can do all 3, sign up customers, sign up merchants, sign up other partners, and you can have revenues from all 3 of those sources. And then you're helping your community by saving that small to medium-sized mom-and-pop business from being destroyed by Walmarts and the big box stores and the online stores that don't pay taxes.
I have a feeling that by the end of October, there's going to be so many changes. We're going to be in a different FlexKom world, I believe. Can I ask one thing? The Kate video is not available, and there was a shortened Kate video that we could show just to merchants. The 3-minute video with the world on it, it goes in to tell about opportunity for DMRs. Could we have a shortened version that we could, like all merchants have a website. If we had a shortened version that didn't tell about DMRs, so that we could just send to merchants with a tagline, call me if this interests you. And because merchants, we could send it to their email. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All merchants have email.
Yeah, we should be able to edit it, one for the customer, one for the merchant, and one for the partner. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I should be able to do that.
Yeah, if we did that, just have that we could. I mean, you can get everybody's got an email, and they post it on their cards. And when I go and pick up a card, if you could just send that to them, because when you can't get to that owner, if you could just send them a video. Hey, I'm Larry Holcomb. If this interests you, please give me a call or email me back, because a lot of times they'll email you when they won't call you. And at least that starts opening that line of communication. That would be awesome if we had one just to tease a merchant.
Absolutely. No, I definitely see what you're saying. I do have the tools to do that, and I should be able to, maybe this weekend, it is a 3-day weekend, so I should be able to get more work done on it because it's a 3-day weekend.
Take the day off, Larry. Sunday's the rest.
Right. Yeah, right.
When I think back to January, what we had in FlexKom, and the two things back there were in German. Oh, people don't understand. And all this stuff you've done in the last month, and I appreciate your hard labor for it to get that, and all the time you put in. So,
thank you. I remember the first time I looked in the back office, there were 2 things in German and 1 in Russian and 1 in French.
Well, it's been less than a month or 2 ago we had stuff, but it's amazing. In January, I'm coming out to see you. You're going to stop for an hour. We're going to go out to lunch. By then, you should be able to, you know. You can't leave the office now. Yeah, ship a sandwich in now. Somebody call for pizza. Is it past lunchtime? I know how it goes. Yeah, if you could do that, that would make it a lot easier for us to approach merchants because they've all got an email that we could send emails out to them and get that. That would just open that door tremendously.
No, you're absolutely right. It is actually kind of segmented there. It'd be pretty straightforward, just lopping things off. So the first one would be the customer video, would just be the first minute and a half, and then the merchant video would be the first 2 minutes, and then the final one, just let it go.
Yeah, the customer one we could put there, and then put that in, and put the kissing one in, and a QR code. We could have people on Facebook going crazy with this thing.
Bing, bada,
That's
bing,
better
right
than. And it's more. It's like a third-party validation. When you have a corporate video, it's better than just me say, "Hey, scan this QR code and tie into my business." Even for a business person, when you tie that corporate world to that makes people want to do it more. It has more validation to it.
You're right. If I'll edit that video, and I think it's about a minute because I had kind of looked at it in that way. I'd noticed that it was in 3 segments like that. I hadn't really completed the thought, and thanks for completing the thought there. I think it's about a minute and 10 seconds, and so that would load very fast on somebody's phone.
Yes. But we could even put that on Facebook for the customers even. I'd like that. And then the other part for markets.
Facebook has that autoplay thing for videos.
Yes.
So as soon as somebody comes to your post, it just
plays.
That's
right. I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah. So that'll be actually awesome.
That's going to further this thing on, especially if we do this thing where we're going to do the merchants. If we had one for merchants to do that that's a great idea, Larry.
Yeah, the merchant one, I think I clocked it at 2 minutes. It's about 2 minutes in would be all that the merchant would need, and the last parts are, like you said, it's kind of built in 3 segments.
Well, that's just a teaser to get in that merchant store. Oh, my gosh, you're talking about making it easy getting in the merchant. We could send that ahead of time, or even if we've been there and you send that to them, that would be awesome. That's going to make it real easy to get into a merchant.
All right, yeah. I'll get that done this weekend.
I may move closer to Lompoc because I'm going to get there sooner or later.
It's a beautiful place if you're from there.
Is there a DMR there?
No.
No brother, no mother, no sister to get signed up there?
Well, my parents are there, and they're kind of not all that mobile right now. So they can't commerce. They can't quite do just yet. They might be back on their feet in a little bit. But they've
got to be my age, Larry, so it's okay.
A little bit older than you, but yeah.
Okay. But no, back to the kissing. Let's get back to that. But the app is so easy that everybody should have given away at least 5, 10, 15 in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
And when you're talking about how to sell, because cutting to the chase and looking between the lines of what people are writing us, they're talking about I have these 10, 20, 100 terminals. What do I do with them? You place them, and if you don't have a DMR, then tell us and we'll hook you up with a DMR. And they're like, no, I am a DMR. Okay, then we need to teach you how to sell. It's that simple. So the first thing you want to sell, those kisses. It is selling. You are walking up to strangers and you are trying to convince them to do something. That's selling, and this is the easiest sell you will ever have in your life. And then after you do a couple of those and you get to where you're doing those every day and doing them without thinking, conversational selling is what I've heard it called over the years. Then the next is conversational partner selling. And the hardest selling, I'm going to be honest with you, the hardest selling is what Larry Holcomb's really good at, and that's signing up a merchant, selling a merchant, because they are business people, they are salespeople, and the hardest person to sell to is a salesperson. It's just that simple.
Well, just tell them to send and get my little tagline and just memorize it and just go verbatim, word for word, and trust me, it'll be easy. And I've used the kissing to close merchants before. I've told you that. My first merchant, I told them the story. As I go out the door, I see somebody, and I say, "Can I give you an app?" And I want to be sure that the merchant owner is watching me. And sometimes I'll invite the merchant owner, "Watch this, I want to give them an app." And if they really get it, you can find out if you sold them or not, because there's wait a minute, you're giving that to my customer. I said, "That's right, but I mean, if you like to sign up, they can be your customer, but I'm about ready to sign." "No, just wait, I'll sign up." It's that easy. Just if you explain to them how it works and try to give an app away in their store and say, "Well, now, if you like to sign up, we can tie them to you," because the customer don't understand and they don't care. But the merchants, yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and get in. Yeah, I mean, it's that easy to sell.
Absolutely, it is. It really is. Every merchant that's come through here, they've walked away happy. They've gone back, and most of them actually have signed up as DMRs. So they came here because the DMR was, told them about FlexKom. Said, well, and they said, "Oh, I'm going to Vegas," and they said, "Oh, well, let's drop by the headquarters. It's there." And then they come in here. They're merchants. They have their arms crossed. They have their eyes crossed. They have cross words for us. They have their fingers crossed. And then by the time they're walking out of here, they're signing up as a partner because they're like, "Okay, I get it.
Well,
I see it."
I did the same thing when I went to hear Alaska the first time. I had just been in Team National. My wife done beat me up over that. So when I was already black, but no, I'm just joking. I mean, I had black contacts on with no written on the inside, and my hands were tied to my waist. My hands were in my pocket. But when I heard ask her, I said, "Golly, I'm in." I come home. I said, "This is worth another beating. I'm getting in." So, guys, I got in for $3,200. It's a no-brainer now for $400.
Absolutely. This is it. This is rinse and repeat. Just keep bringing people in. Especially, we have people who say, "Well, I don't want to have any competition in my town." Well, you know somebody on Facebook or in your old Rolodex, if you're as old as me, call that neighbor, call that friend, call that person that you used to know that you went to college with or your family in another town, and they're not competing with you. But Larry would tell you they're helping you. If you can lock your town up, you can move on to the next town. The sooner you get those clusters built in your own town, the faster you'll grow. But if you do view people in your own town as being competition, then sign up other DMRs in other towns. That way you're getting revenues from a town you don't even live in.
Yeah, if you sign all your friends up, then you don't worry about it. You don't have to call them merchants. You just live off what the other DMRs are doing. There are people doing it both ways. I mean, I get in trouble because I do too good a selling point, and people say, "Well, how do you make money?" And I say, "I make a couple of cents off the terminal." "Well, I just want to do what you want to do." So, shoot, I'd sign up another DMR. I want that 18 cents. I'm sorry. I mean, so you have to sign up another DMR, okay? But trust me, my little spiel will get you a DMR or a merchant fairly easy. It's just a matter of knocking on doors or opening the mouth and say, "Would you like to know about what's that coming down about mobile commerce?"
Absolutely. All right, so we're just like that. The hour is gone. So this is going to be available. This audio recording that we have here is going to be up on our Power to Change YouTube channel under DMR Independent Representative Training. It's going to go after the How to Kiss tutorial. And basically, this one is kind of giving you the oversight of how to kiss and why to kiss and when to kiss. And when to kiss is all the time. You should be kissing every day. And if you're new to selling, if you sign up as a DMR a year ago or an hour ago, and you're new to kind of walking into a merchant cold, then start out with your baby steps, which is kissing, walking up to people and saying hi and convincing them to download this free app, and this free app can make them money. So it's the easiest sale you'll ever have. And then you work on signing up DMRs, and then you work on signing up merchants. Of course, you could do all three all at once. You have the videos, enough videos in your playlist to help you do that right now. So definitely do that. Larry Holcomb, want to thank you for being on this conference call again.
You want me to give the disclaimer, or do you want to do it?
Go ahead, give the disclaimer.
No, you better do it. Thanks, Larry.
You're welcome, Larry. He's right. I got to give it. Anything that's said on this conference call can be repurposed as FlexKom sees fit, like putting it up on our YouTube channel, for example. But we have this conference call pretty much every weekday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, today was Wednesday, so you had the blog talk in the morning. Don't have a firm thing on Volker. It might be Friday. Don't know if he does do a webinar, and if that webinar is centric to the United States, our goals and the way that we do things here in America, then you'll see that on our YouTube channel, Power to Change. If it's like it was last week where Volker did a beautiful webinar, this week that is, he did a beautiful BizOp webinar. That is the first video in the DMR Independent Representative Training because it's a nice introduction to the opportunity, and he even explains the difference between international and America. So it's a good video. You should definitely watch it. I think it already has 200 views. It'll probably be at about 500 views by the end of this week. So a great video. Definitely take a look at that. It's in Power to Change. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. My name is Larry Skinner. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for FlexKom America Incorporated. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye.